Well, good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, so we're here for our Wednesday devotional, and this is a special Wednesday because we are in the Wednesday of Holy Week. As we celebrated this past Sunday, Jesus made his triumphal entry into Jerusalem and kicked off all of the events of Holy Week. And what this will ultimately lead to, as we know, is the blessing of the Lord's Supper on Maundy Thursday. It will lead to Jesus's crucifixion on Friday, and then, of course, his glorious resurrection on Sunday. But I want us to think about what Wednesday of Holy Week is and what it means, because historically this is a day that's known as Silent Wednesday. Whenever you read through the Gospels, we see Jesus going from Bethany into Jerusalem on Monday and Tuesday and Thursday and Friday, but on Wednesday we really don't see much from him, if anything at all. And so it's called Silent Wednesday, and I think this gives us a challenge to sit in stillness and in silence on a day like today, because so much is about to happen. Our stories are about to be changed. They're about to be rewritten just in the next couple of days. And so I don't know that it was an accident that Jesus made today silent. This had to have been a day of prayer for him. It had to have been a day of contemplation for him. And it's my hope that that would be what this day represents for us as well. And so I want us to think about a verse out of the book of Psalms, one that is more likely than not familiar to you, but it's one that promotes this idea of silence and stillness and solitude. So this morning I want us to consider the verse in Psalm chapter 46, verse 10. It's one that maybe you recognize. It says, "Be still and know that I am God." Be still and know that God is God. As much as we need to do that, I want us to think about what it means. What areas in your life do you need to be still and just let God do what God does? And here's the funny thing about Psalm 46:10 is almost everybody, myself included, we stop there. Be still and know that I am God, but that's not the end of the verse. So let's look at what the rest of it says. It says, "Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth." See, I think what God is doing here is issuing us this mindset of let God do what God can do in your life. So often we try to reverse the order, that we want to try to work based on our own strength, based on our own skill set, based on our own pride. And then once we get to that place where we can't do it anymore, then we're going to let God step in and do his thing. But what God is saying is, let's keep the order as it is. Be still and know that I am God. And here's what's going to happen. I will be exalted in the nations. I will be exalted on all the earth. And what does it mean for God to be exalted? It means that where there is suffering, God will spread joy. It means where there is despair, God will offer hope. It means that when there is pain and struggle and triumph, that Jesus gives peace and courage and strength, that over and over and over again, when our world tries to give us something that is difficult or hard or something that we want to try and fix on our own, God says, let me do what I do best. And here's how we do it. We be still and we know that God is God. That's our challenge this week. That's our goal for the week, is to be still, even for just a moment. And remember that God is God. Remember the order of things, that when we let God be God in our lives, we don't try to take on that role ourselves, that God will be exalted. I hope you'll have a really good week. We will see you throughout all of our Holy Week services.